to be on it. You may want to turn off your camera, but it's up to you.
Fine. It's fine.
Otherwise, Paula, do you want to open us up and I'm going to I'll live stream to YouTube and see what happens.
Okay, well, hello everyone. My name is Paula Washington, and I am here with a dear friend, Miss Camille L. Miller, and we are two incredible women sharing our thoughts with you about what lights you up. And we thought that at this time of the year, everyone's rushing and coming and going and coming and going, but they all forget about the light that's within. So we're here today to have that conversation and share some tidbits and some wisdom and some insights and funny stories with you about what lights you up. So welcome, Camille, and welcome to our audience. Amanda, thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So share with us tell everybody about who you are and what lights you up. I was so excited when you came up with the idea of the name of our talk today. That was I was like, that is such a good uh, segue into December.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell everyone who doesn't know who I am. My name is Camille L. Miller because there is a famous Camille Miller. So I use the middle initial. I am a soul strategist and transformational business coach, and I help people align who they are with what they do in life, usually coming out of very structured, logical brain jobs. And they're like, this doesn't make my heart sing. So I help them design whatever that next chapter looks like. I am the founder of the Soul Professional Movement and the Soul Professional Network and the Soul Professional Business School, which teaches business fundamentals through a soulful lens. So it's all about being aligned in who we are. So that's a little bit about me. So what lights you up really came from just talking about authentic success and showing up in the world exactly who we are, because it's my belief that that's where the world is going, right? The more heart-centered we are, the more age of Aquarius, the more we come out of 2025, which is a year of the snake. We are shedding our skin. It is year 9. It is the end of our cycle. 2026 is going to be filled with abundance. And in my humble opinion, it's going to be for those that are awakened, those that are being more authentic and true to who they are. Those are the ones that are going to see abundance in this new world.
I agree. One of the beautiful things about 2026, and welcome, Tiara. I'm so glad to see you. She is actually in Atlanta, Georgia as well. So we have someone from out of the country, Amanda from Uruguay, and we have Tiara from Atlanta. How's that? How cool is that? Anyway, I am a business strategist, a coach, and author of the Encore Playbook. Soon I'm launching this weekend the Encore Reset Journal as well. And one of the things that I love about what's getting ready to happen for 2026 is that all of the work that we've done this year and over the years, I believe, because I'm starting to see it in my business and in my life, that I am seeing like the fruit of that and the rewards of that. And I'm seeing things come to pass that I forgot about and building relationships across the world and across the globe out of the blue,
Yeah,
and just the wonder of life. At this stage of life, we get to enjoy what we do and we get to, of course, make money at it as well. But the joy of it, the light that lights us up, it draws abundance to us, I believe.
I agree. I agree. Um, and like you said, I think this has been a year of shedding and a year of, I would almost say like regrowth. A lot of us had slower years, and I think it's because we're ramping up for what is to come. I know I came off 2024 was probably the best year I've ever had in my business, and 2025 almost came to a screeching halt, for where I was. It just slowed, but I wasn't in resistance around it. I was just like, okay. Um, I'm not going to fight this, especially over the summer. I would say over the summer, right? In June, July, I actually ended up just going to France and not worrying about it. And I was like, I'm just going to take some time off and feel into, is this what I want to continue to do? Does this make me, joyful when I wake up in the morning? And as my dad used to say, if you won the lottery, would you still get up and do it tomorrow? And I took 2 months. And I would say by August, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And all the momentum started to come back. But I feel like if I fought it all summer, I would have been exhausted by the time August hit. And I probably wouldn't have felt that same momentum.
That is
Yeah.
so true because what I've learned, the same as you, um, no matter how much I put thought to something, if this is what it is, this is what it is.
Yep.
Worrying or
Agreed.
conjuring up stuff, all that does is stress me out. And the creativity goes away.
Hmm.
And so I've realized the more that I relax and the more that I have fun and do what I love doing, everything starts to change and everything starts to come to me. For me, actually, relaunching again this year in May and launching my website, my new brand, and a book all in May, June, and July.
Woo!
Yes, that was a lot all at one time. And it was like, okay, are you ready to do this again? And I just went for it, you know? And then in the process of doing it again, I didn't realize all of the people that I had affected over the years because many of old clients and everything like that started to come back when I was doing the book launch and all that kind of stuff. And
Oh,
people started to share, the things that they had experienced, which I totally forgot about, and all of that. And I was like, wow, it does matter that we're here. You know, and it doesn't
yeah.
matter how many people say it or whatever, it's just how the opportunities align for you to see who you really are and that people really appreciate and value you, and
Yeah.
that's really very nice because we give all day long in what we do and who we are. It's just the nature of who we are and women. It's just natural. And so
Agreed.
when we receive it back, it's just wonderful. And so
Yeah.
it was actually one of my clients that actually said, "Oh, you need to write a journal." It's because, I've been working with you for this amount of time and yes, I have my journal, but what if everybody else had theirs? I was like, "Okay." So we put together a journal. And so now waiting for the final today. And so we expect to be putting it out this weekend. So I'm excited about that. And we'll be taking some women through that process in January. So I'm excited.
Oh, how wonderful.
Hmm.
That's exciting. That's exciting. I love that
Yeah.
all of your clients started to come back. I feel like there's this pull now that people are looking for community again, right? Because
Yes.
we've been kind of disconnected. But community looks different because we really don't feel like leaving our house that much.
No, you know what? After COVID, we got used to being at home and we
We
really like it.
we really like it. And it's like I used to, my whole company was built like as a coffee club. That's how we started. Now
Oh,
we're in
really?
30 countries, we're international, right? But
Uh-huh.
we started as a local coffee club. And the
Wow.
thought of me going out and meeting people for coffee, I'm like, well, it takes like, an hour. You have to get up, get ready, go out, drive someplace, meet for coffee, drive back. You lose like half your day. But that
Exactly.
is how I built my entire company was all in person. And
Wow.
now people are starting to ask for in person again, and they're not really engaging on social media as much anymore. I know
Hmm.
like the emails, like all of the stuff. And I have tens of thousands of people that follow me, but they're not actually following me. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
It
something has really changed.
is.
Um, yeah. So I think that's what we're trying to figure out. And they're asking for in-person stuff. And I'm like, yes, I see that you're asking for it, but will you actually go out? Right?
Yeah.
I'm a hiker, so I was like, anyone wants to come on a hike with me, we can do that. But I'm probably not going to meet in a bar or have coffee or stuff anymore. Like
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it. So I think community is going to mean something new, but I don't know what that looks like either,
You
right?
know, it's funny you said that. I was out for my walk today, and I said, "Well, let me go get some coffee." So I go by, and they said, "Oh, you're not driving." Where did you come from? I said, I'm walking. Well, how did you get here? I said, well, where do you live? They're asking me all these questions because they know me, you know. And I said, did I come here too much? Or what is it? No, we know you from the window. I said, oh, I can't walk to the coffee shop. And she said, well, I said, I saw my mailman on the way too. And he was looking at me all peculiar, like, you're going to take your mail. And what I realized in that moment was people recognize you in a way
Mhm.
that they know you. And once they know you in that way, they expect to see you like that. Because the guy from the back, he said, oh, yeah, she drives through and gets the coffee. And it was really funny. But it is true.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want to go out and sometimes we don't. I have a couple of groups that I'm a member of Business Institute, and the person is always asking me to do this and do that. And I'm like looking at him like, what? That means I got to get dressed. I got to come out. And I love participating with them. But sometimes I don't want to leave the house.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. I had one woman from another state. She set up a discovery call with me. And she says, I just wanted to know if you were real. And this was a real profile because the things that you share and you say are very touching. And I didn't know if you were real because there have been a lot of people online that are not real. I said, well, hello, I'm here. you know. And so then she says, well, if you do any live events in Atlanta, I'll drive and I'll come. I said, okay. So I have her on the mailing list. But I thought that
Yeah.
was interesting. Have you come across that?
I think live events where people all go together somewhere is going to come back.
Yes.
And but I feel like it's not going to be retreats as much,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because so many times we go on these retreats, but we don't actually see wherever we are, right?
No, we don't.
Or
We
right.
don't.
So yeah, in my group, it's called Soul Adventures. Um, and I tour Europe with people. I'm like, whoever wants to come, come. There's no work being done here, but you will network so you can expense it, right? You're going to meet a whole bunch of what I call soul professionals that are doing good work in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to travel and see culture and communities and talk to people and hike and do that, ride a bike. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what we're going to be doing the whole time and having meals together and drinking wine and doing that more than coming together in a retreat where I have to be on all the time and
Yeah.
teaching, right? I think it's a
And
different way to experience people. I like experiences now. If I'm leaving my house, I want to experience something more,
exactly. Because
right?
because we everyone to me is on information overload. We're learning,
Yes, I
learning,
agree.
learning all day long. It's information, information, information. And I know some people probably logging in wanted. We are giving you wisdom. We are going to give you some great golden nuggets. It may not be in the form you expect. And so what I'm learning now is just to expect the unexpected. But Camille, what I'd like you to share is as a soul professional, how you came to that, because I love that when I met you, when you talked about the soul professional, I just really like that because, there's a scripture in the Bible that, God restores our soul.
Yeah.
And I know that so many times in my life, my soul has been in anguish and been ripped to shreds. And I was wondering, could I ever get back up again? Could I ever pull it together? Would I ever get healed or whole? And here I am, in my late 60s, and it does happen. And so I wanted to hear how you came into that.
Yeah, so my background is not-for-profit management, and I was
Mm-hmm.
always doing strategic work in that area. And my job before I created my company 10 years ago, I was CEO of the Northeast Organic Farming Association. So I was in food and agriculture and health and wellness. I got to work in Washington, D.C. on our organic label, but it was in that role that I started to meet these really soulful people. And they were living two lives, like who they were at home and then who they were professionally, right?
Mm.
It's like we put on masks and pretend to be somebody. It's not as bad today as it was 10 years ago, but it was experiencing that I was like, wow, these people are really me too, right? Very
Mm-hmm.
logically brained, but I'm very soul led. And when I
Mm-hmm.
started to see that, I left that job well, the job was defunded in 2015, and I was kind of figuring out, like, what am I going to do next in life? And I was like, I think I really want to pull these people together all over the world and help them bring their gifts to everybody else. And I can teach business strategy. I'm a former MBA professor. Um, and that became the beginning of the Natural Life Business Partnership, which is the parent company now. The Soul Professional movement came actually in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
because we had gone to an online model. I should add that I'm claircognizant, so I get messages. So I had this like deep knowing that I needed to create a professional organization for this new world that we're going into. Had no timeline though, right? And I was definitely ahead of my time. But we started as a coffee club, and I started telling people, and it was like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. We did the whole East Coast, and I got a call in 2017 from someone in California that said, "Oh my God, I've been watching you. I can't wait for you to get out here." And I knew in that moment I did not have a sustainable business. I was just like, how the hell is that going to pay off? I was also a single mom. I had three kids in school, and I was just like, this isn't going to work. But later on, I heard of this thing called Zoom. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my goodness, that's going to be their future. We're going to actually go to a video model, and things will start to go global, and the world is going to change. And I didn't know when or how, but that was very clear to me. So I had to convince my community to come on Zoom, and nobody would turn on cameras. Everyone hated it. They're like, we're not doing this. I was like, you have to learn how to use camera because it will be in our future. I don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
This is all I know. We went to a no chapter full professional organization in January of 2018, and I stopped all the coffees, and I started to have coffee with Camille on Zoom. And I was like, you can just show up and we'll start to talk, and I'll do it as part of the membership. It was a paid membership back then. And in 2019, we went international. And in 2020, you might remember this global pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have to shift, we didn't have to rethink. Everything we did was already set up from the first day of the pandemic. So we grew like I almost imploded because we grew so fast. I didn't have the systems for it. It was a wild ride. Let's just put it that way. I started a podcast called Six Figure Souls, Doing Good and Making Money, to prove to people that when you do good in the world, you can make money,
Mm-hmm.
right? And people were doing it, and I would highlight them and interview them, and that became the big thing. And by the end of 2020, I was told to trademark the word soul professional. Like, it was just downloaded one day. I literally 5 minutes called my trademark attorney. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with it. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, but I got to trademark this word. It took 3 years to get the full registration through. But we did it. And that's where the whole Soul Professional network started. And we really started to become this ecosystem, right? Designed to empower visionaries like you, like me, to build businesses that are not only financially successful, but are soulfully fulfilling. And we became this large business incubator, and now it's all free networking, free master classes. So I teach basic business, and that's how it all started to come together. And then it was because we attract who we are in the world. It was, how can I make this comfortable for people like me? I'm an introvert, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
like going to big networking events that are online, but that's how I had to do it. So my events, I pose questions. I break people into groups of 3 or 4 people. Even if 100 people show up, you are in small containers with the question that's posed so you can learn about people. And it's not transactional because I set it up that you can't sell to people, right? So if anyone shows up, and they do, to try to do it, they don't last. The system's not, it's not set up. It's set up to build relationships with people over time. So that
I
works. And
really
this
like
year,
that. I
yeah,
really
I did
like
it
that
on
because
purpose.
Yeah, because everything we do primarily is online and all these network groups and stuff. And I pulled away from the larger ones because it is transactional, even though they say
Yep.
it's not. And it's a constant sales, it's a constant repeating the same thing, repeating the membership, repeating this and that and the other. But where is the connection? In
Yep.
building a business, for me, it's now 27 years after corporate. The way everything was built was referral, and it was through connections and relationships. I received so many opportunities from people that someone said something that I didn't even know who it was, you know, and that to me is more rewarding than the hustle of running around, going from here, there, and everywhere.
Right.
The
Yep.
clients that I work with, I talked to a young lady today, she's one of my mentees. She says, well, I got 2 new contracts, but they're not my ideal client. I said, what is wrong with you? It's November. You started this business, you got laid off in March. You didn't start your business till June. And you got 2 contracts today. Well, I did get the other two. They only lasted a month. I said, hello. You got 4 contracts, the fourth quarter of the year, and
Hmm.
you just started. Okay. You ought to be grateful. I said,
Yeah.
you ought to be, well, I really want to do that. I said, I don't care what you want to do. You got 4. Well, they're actually, one of them is, I'm subcontracting. One of them is with Amazon, one of them is IBM, but I can't actually say that. I said, I don't care if the company is called Bozo. You got 4 contracts. You got paid 4 times. Okay. And you got 2. These last 2 are going to take you into the first quarter of 2026. Ask how many people you know who just got
Wow.
started up like that. Well, I'm concerned about, losing my home and all of that. I said, you're an entrepreneur. That's always, you're always thinking about that. Are you kidding? You have Christmas in October. You may have it in September. It doesn't matter. You're not going to lose your house. You're just going to get afraid that you might. And these things happen. I said your phone, you might be upset that your phone might get cut off or all this other kind of stuff that goes on with entrepreneurs when they get started because you've been working for 20 years and you don't know what's up. So it's gonna happen. And she got this blank stare on her face. I said, baby, you're gonna have to learn how to manage fear because it's gonna happen. But you
Yeah.
should be grateful and have humility at that the grace of God opened up this opportunity because very few people, when they first get started and nobody knows who they are, you don't have any social media platform where they can find you, that the people you used to work with referred you and you got some work to take care of you and your family because she's a single mother of 4.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. And she says, well, I guess so. And I was like, ooh, you're gonna be a tough one. Because tell me what's wrong with that ideal client. I said, don't listen to these people at these network groups talking about your ideal client. Every client that you get that aligns with your purpose. Well, I don't really want to do that particular thing. I'd like to do this particular thing. Okay.
I think a lot of how we market ourselves and show up in the world is changing. I should say how we attract clients is absolutely changing. And a lot of the fear-based marketing, and the transactional, it's not working anymore. And it's
No, it
certainly
isn't.
not coming into 2026 with us.
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh,
It's
nope. It
all
is not
relationship
coming.
based. If you
Everything
don't
is
have a
going back to
relationship, if
relationships.
we don't feel it like this, forget it. And the whole thing is we meet people and enjoy people, not so much to get, but to give.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
so all of that old model that was in corporate, the way that I was orientated, many people were, that's going out the window
I
because
agree.
people want relationships. They want to
Yep.
connect. They want to know that, you know what, you see me. And I might be having a rough patch in my business, or I might be feeling a little off. And then when we have this conversation, oh, wait a minute, I'm not crazy. Everybody's going through it. Oh, this feels wonderful. You know what I'm saying? And so
Agreed.
that changes the dynamic. Yes, we have to do the things that we need to do to build a business. We have to be organized. We have to be structured. We have to do certain things every day, and be diligent in those things in growing our company internally for our team and ourselves and so forth. But externally, showing up as the visionary and the CEO, now we can relax in who we are as a person and have fun with that.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we really get to have fun and just talk about who we are and why we do what we do and how passionate we are about that. And you need a lot of words to say it, like when I first started. I would like throw up everything I knew because coming out of corporate, entrepreneur is very different. So everything I knew, I said, "Oh, I wore those people out." No wonder they didn't call me back because I wore them out with so much. But and then over time, I learned to calm down, and I also learned that the entrepreneurial lifestyle and conversation is very different.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's slower too. Like
Yes.
I've learned that sales do not usually motivate people.
No.
The sign on both like sign on today, I'll give you the I was like, I don't do anything. I always tell my clients, when you're a hell yes, you let me know and then we can
Hmm.
talk about it. But I am not force converting you into anything. I'm not convincing you to work with me. You will know when you are ready. And those are the people that I work with.
Yeah,
You can
me
get in
too. Because I
line.
don't do a
Yeah.
whole lot of VIP and all this other stuff. We're not going to do all of that. The price is what it is. Either you can or you can't. And if you can't or you want to and you can't, let's talk about it. We'll see what we can work out. Other
Yeah.
than that, it is what it is, because all of this, all these shenanigans, it just keeps too much going on. And
Agreed.
people miss out on quality work and quality services.
I agree. I agree. But I feel you also went through a period that before this last year, even 2023, 2024, where there were coaches out there that really were not skilled, but were really good
Yes.
at sales.
Oh my gosh,
They,
everybody was a coach. I'm so
yeah,
in the United States, everyone was a coach.
yeah,
Anybody that lost their job, they became a coach in a topic. They went and got a certificate and became a health coach and never was in the medical field at all. You know,
yeah.
it was incredible how many people. I had a person who worked full time as a management consultant set up a meeting with me and asked about for me to train them how to coach. And I'm like, why would I do that? Are you gifted as a coach? Do you know the difference? Do you know how many years it took me to get to where I am? You're a management consultant. I suggest you set up a business like that because to if
Yeah.
you're not gifted and skilled in the area and know the difference between coaching and consulting, training and development, leadership, you're a soulpreneur, uh, professional, all of these areas that we are specifically niched in. You're not going to just be able to come out and get a piece of paper and say you can do it. But they're very good at selling.
I was just going to say, but a lot of people are trying it. I mean, a lot of people are going into the spiritual side now and saying they're spiritual and doing all this stuff. And, the word soul. And I'm like, they ain't who I am, but you can go try that out. But they usually come to me afterwards. I wrote an article about this and I was like, I feel so bad. They're like, I thought they saw me. I thought they understood who I was, what I needed in the world, how I needed to show up. And it was like, 10 steps to 10K months. And I was like, the same 10 steps do not work for everybody. There is no
No,
way that can work. No way
no,
that can work.
not at all. I've
Yeah.
gotten so many people who've went to big name certification,
Yep.
coach certification. I've got them as clients because one, they never taught them the business
Yep.
side of it. Two, what worked for that individual is not going to work for you because their mindset and history is different than yours. Everybody has their own DNA. And if that's not your gifting, if you are not naturally gifted to do something, it will, I don't care how many classes you take or
Yeah.
what you do, it's not going to work. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, they run out of money because they spend so much money on all these programs,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Agreed.
It's so interesting. And so I kind of see in 2026, all of that's going to level out.
I agree.
Everybody's going to be looking for the authentic company, for the
I agree.
authentic CEOs, and those who are really genuine and diligent in their business in providing the services and the products and things like that that people need, especially
Yep.
with women, because we are the greatest at community and networking. Nothing against men because they do a great job, but I'm talking about it from that internal thing about how we vibe, just like you and I, how we came together, you know,
Yep.
and we were in each other's orbit for a long time on LinkedIn, not knowing it. And Bernie and a friend, mutual friend says, "Was it you talk to Camille?" And then and later on that day, "Did you talk to Camille?" Everybody's saying, "Did you talk to Camille?" Oh, let me call Camille. So now I call Camille, and here we are today. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
100% of what I do is word of mouth.
hmm.
I've
That's the
never bought
best.
ads, done anything. 100% of what I do is word of mouth.
Yes, that's how it's been with me too.
Yep.
About 90% of everything
Yeah.
in business has been referrals. And
Yep.
I appreciate that so much because of the relationships. And
Yeah.
sometimes you don't even know. Like I received a scholarship from the Arthur Blank Foundation for an incredible program. I don't to this day don't even know who recommended me for this program. And I got to go to Yale and various other things and participate in that. And that has happened to me throughout my career. And it's been such a blessing and humbling.
Beautiful.
And so whenever I get a chance to recommend someone else for something, that gives me great joy because then I get to see them blossom
I love that.
into whatever it is that they're pursuing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really it there's no greater joy. Or when a company that I've been working with begins to hire employees. Oh, that makes me feel so good. That
That's
makes me
good
feel
work.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then the owners looking to transition legacy over to their children. And that process is starting to happen. And actually, the kids are starting to get it for real, and they really want to do it, not because dad said so. That's exciting too. That little, it's a small moment where everybody clicks at the same time, and
Oh,
that is
beautiful.
just so precious.
Yeah.
Those are precious moments in business. We don't see them often, but when we do, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this, especially with family-owned businesses, because not, the next generation doesn't always want to take it over.
No, they
Or they
don't.
want to change it, which is okay. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You
it
know,
looks
I
very different today.
Yes, it really does. I was at Truett Cathy's office at Chick-fil-A senior, and I had brought my after-school children. I had 5 programs running at lots of kids. Anyway, I brought them there to see him, and he did a tour, he did a Bible study because that's what he does, and all of this kind of stuff. He said, you know what? You may not appreciate your parents if they have a Chinese restaurant or a laundry or cleaners. Or like me, I had a chicken shop, and he had the original one downstairs in the corporate office. And he said, and I told my son, he better not, after I'm gone, sell chicken on Sunday. He better not do it. And he said, and I told him certain things. And at that time, I think he's like 82. He might have been 82 or something like that. And he was adamant about the family because the day that we were there, the daughter, his daughter was there, and his son, and he was adamant that they would not change his business model after he left. He was really adamant about that. And I can't say that they haven't to that degree, but I can say they're not open on Sunday. And they did, and they did stick to that, and that's something that's a testament too, as far as
Hmm.
honor,
Yeah,
honoring your
that's the
parents.
brand.
Yeah, honoring the brand, and standing for, giving your employees that day off that they know, okay, we may have to work 6 days, but we know Sunday we're off, and that's a good thing. Yeah, so I thought that was such a unique moment at that time, and I don't know if those high school kids that I brought there understood any of it, but we, the adults, he was teaching, and he was talking about business, and he was doing all this, and we were like sitting there like little kids, soaking it up. We didn't. I was like, well, if you all get it, you get it. I needed to hear this today. from him. And he talked about the years and him and his wife when they got married and all. And he told us about the all the different things that he had done and the people that he had met. And they took us on a tour. And I was like, my God, I didn't know how what a full life he led and how many people he helped around the world. You would have never known.
Mm,
Hmm.
very nice.
Hmm.
I think the world is kind of missing the wisdom of our elders. And I
Yes.
think it's something we discredit a lot
Yes.
that almost needs to come back. Not
It
almost.
definitely does.
Yeah.
I've been concerned about the a lot of the elders having, dementia, and Alzheimer's, and things of that nature. In 2020, my cousins and I lost our last parent, and they were all 89 and 97, but we received it before they left because they lived
Hmm.
it out. But how many people have that option? A lot of them don't.
Yeah.
And so we, that baby boomer generation, it is our responsibility to get up and stand up and to be that voice and to say it,
Hmm.
and to speak to the younger generation and let them know they matter and let them know they care. But our standards are our standards and they do have merit. Okay. Yes, you may want to shift some things, but let's understand where it came from first before you go changing up stuff.
Yeah. I agree. So what do you think's going to happen like in the next 5 years?
I think, well, there's so many things going on. I can't really predict or see, but I do feel in if you're walking in your path or your God plan, you're going to go through that plan and you're going to overcome the hurdles. You're going to do well and achieve. And then you're going to have those plateaus and you're going to continue and you're going to continue. And it's going to be um, a very exciting journey with the world and how everything else is going. Things do have to come to a head before they level out and balance out and everything not gets back to normal. It'll never go back to normal because nobody knows what normal is, but
Hmm.
it will go back to a place of semblance. It'll go back to a place of integrity. It'll go back to a place of honor and people not wanting to live in deception.
Hmm.
And I really feel integrity and honesty will start to come back on a larger scale because it looks as if people are waking up inside it and not allowing and tolerating things as they once did.
Agreed. I think a lot more women are going to actually stand up. They're already
Yes,
standing up
yes,
and
they
they're going to
are.
start to step into leadership and the rest. And a lot of what we've lived through is all going to crash.
Yeah, it
It's
has to.
it's going to hurt a lot of people, but it's got to crash to
Hmm.
rebuild. Like we have to build from
Exactly.
the ashes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the beautiful thing about it is if you look at it now, I've been watching in the last 10 years, I've been researching and watching, and women have been elevating. There's so many women in so many
Yes.
incredible positions around the world. I've watched them of all, ethnicities and what have you around the world, and they are not so much slow. Well, from 10 years to now, it looked like it was slowly, but in actuality, it was their path and now they're all in those positions. And that's going to continue to happen. And so within the next 5 years, it's going to be a very strong leadership of female leaders. And
I
they're
agree.
not going to put up with all the shenanigans and all the other stuff that's been going on. And a lot of things are going to change. And it's going to
Yeah.
be for the good, you know?
Agreed. Yeah, I think we're going to be more global citizens, thinking about
Yes.
humanity, nurturing, helping each other, getting rid of like the competition and the ego part of, of the male-led world. But
Yes.
I think the energy in the world itself has changed as well. Right now we're in the age of Aquarius. So
Hmm.
that has all changed. All for the good. I think it's all going to change, but we also have to look at a place where we're all one. We're all humanity. And I think hopefully in my lifetime that
Hmm.
we will switch over to that view of everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at
Hmm.
the simplicity coming back, all of us honoring each other as human beings
I agree.
and cherishing and appreciating and valuing who we are as human beings. as we come in contact with one another from around the world. One of the things I love about my online networking, I have so many friends from all over the world and haven't left my house yet. And so, and some of them I can't wait to visit because of the relationships we've built. And it's just incredible how you can connect when you can see someone. And
Hmm.
so I'm seeing more of that's going to happen in travel and all those exciting things. Not that I
Agreed.
have any predictions and I know the future because I really don't. I'm doing good to every day to focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I could do that, I'm really good because I can go off into the weeds and get distracted. And I need to like do like this here, to stay on track. But I really see us being more concerned about one another and really valuing one another. In one group I go to on Tuesday mornings, one of the people were not there for maybe about 3 or 4 weeks, and she came back, and everybody's like, "Where you been? Where you been?" She says, "I'm making money. I'm working. What do you think? You think I have time to hang out with you all day?" She says, "I'm making money. That's what I'm doing." She said, "Well, thank you so much for being concerned." And everybody kind of posted in the chat, "How are you? What's going on?" and all. So then she gave us a synopsis of some things that she's done. But that was just so beautiful that we all were concerned about her because we had seen. And she said, "We're supposed to be making money." I thought that was so funny because she's reminding us of what we're doing, and we're in business. We're not here for all kumbaya all day.
Yeah.
So that was really kind of cool, and that was our Tuesday meeting this week. And I thought that was so, that to me is what relationship is about.
Yeah. Checking in on each other. I think
Hmm.
we're going to go back into that community. It's going to look different than it used to, but
Hmm.
I think we're going back into that. I always tell my kids I'm single, like divorced, and
Me
I
too.
was like, you don't have to worry because I'm going to find that little community of women all living in tiny houses on a couple acres of property. I was like, that's where I'm moving. I just don't know where it is yet. But if I have to create it, I will.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm looking to globe trot around, and I want to do dual citizenship as well, and that kind of thing, and just have fun.
Yeah.
I have so much expectation. My expectations are so high right now that I can't stand it sometimes. I'm so excited about what I'm sensing is coming. You know. So.
Yeah.
Okay, do any of you ladies have any questions? You can either will open your mic and ask them, or you can type them in the chat. Please ask a question before we close. Somebody has to have something on their mind, you
Well, I,
know.
I actually do. I'm curious as to Camille mentioned that her program has like the free networking and the free community and how does that work? Like what's your business and then how do you do that as an addition to it?
Yeah. So, my brand is Soul Professional, SOUL professional, right? So there is a global community. There's also a movement behind it and a little pledge about being a good global citizen and help each other rise. And I'm just the facilitator of bringing people together all over the world, right? So I'm just facilitating the free networking and I do free master classes and put them all on YouTube so people can access them. I do a free soul circle, but I just hold space for people all over the world. My business where I make money. So I used to have that used to be a paid membership. I stopped that. I ended that and kept it free, except for the masterminds. Um, but my work is still as a soul strategist and business mentor. And I have the Soul Professional Business School where I'm teaching business and MBA fundamentals through a soulful lens. And I have masterminds and I work with people individually. Sometimes they come out of that community. Sometimes they've just heard about me. I've also written a couple books on building businesses. So, um, you know, but I facilitate it by community. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Okay.
I was just a little unclear at the get-go. So I'm actually out on your website right now, so I kind
Yeah,
of
Oh,
I
good.
just
confirmed
put
all
it up
that.
in the chat, so I'm so
Yeah,
glad that you
yeah,
got it,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
I had typed it in and looked it up, and I've been sitting on it for a hot minute here, and
No, feel free
um,
to join
yeah,
us. All
yeah,
of you can just
yeah,
go to the
yeah,
event
yeah. I'm gonna
section.
do
There's
some
a
more
lot that we do.
investigation.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
try to get to know everyone and introduce people to everybody because I'm a big believer that we all need to know each other in the world.
Oh, without a doubt,
Yeah, when we're
without a
doing good
doubt.
things in the world, we need to help.
Right, exactly, exactly.
Sharia, do you have a question?
Yes. Well, Paula,
Okay.
you mentioned that you're interested in dual citizenship. So what other country would you choose to be a part of as a
Oh,
resident?
I've got several. I talked to Amanda about this the other day because she's in Uruguay, and I wanted to know what made her go to Uruguay. So I'm looking at like Panama, Costa Rica. I was looking at Portugal and several other countries. So I have a lot of countries I have to visit before I decide which one I'm going to go to.
Okay.
But I have been thinking about that. That was in my plan over 20 years ago. So now I'm at the
Yeah.
stage of life where it's actually time for that to move forward. Because, daughter is grown, she's an adult, I'm free looking, and I don't want to be single too much longer. However, until that changes, I am going to live and do me. And even when that does happen, I will still live and do me. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking at some of those countries. Yeah. Are
Okay.
you looking to be a dual citizen or travel?
Yes, one day. I love traveling and I would like to experience living in another country, even if it's just for a short time. But how do you like it, Camille?
So I love travel. Like I said, I was a single mom for a very long time. My kids are all in their 20s and they're just like launching. And this is the first year that they're actually paying all of their own bills and everything.
Oh,
So
Yay!
I know it's a big year. And I was like,
I
oh
know
my
Yes.
it's
God, this
what's
is
next.
very freeing, very
Yes.
freeing.
Yes.
So, like you, I plan to eventually leave the country. Um, they have all, I have three kids and they've all also, but I'm like, are we all going to the same country or are we just all going to Europe? That would be easier, right? As long
Hmm.
as we
Hmm.
can get to each
Hmm.
other by train, it's a lot easier in here. But
Yes.
I have one in Chicago, one in New York, one, right? So I'm kind of in that stage of where are they all ending up because they're in their early 20s.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And my parents are still alive in their
Oh, so
90s.
that's a difference.
So I'm kind of like, I'm
Yeah.
stuck where I am. I live in New Jersey and I'm kind of stuck where I am. But like you, I've been scouting out some countries. It was Italy, went there. I was like, I don't think I'm going to live in Italy.
Yeah, I
Um,
wanted to live there at one point,
Spain,
but
yeah, I have friends
Mhm.
in Malta.
Yes,
I loved London, love London.
I have friends in
Um,
London too.
yeah, so I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Germany is actually probably one of my favorites,
Oh,
which
really?
I was shocked at. But
Oh,
Germany
yeah.
really has a lot to offer.
Yeah, it's
Um,
cold there though. Like
oh, I
I
don't
like
care.
Greece because it doesn't get cold. It's not too cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like, I like places that I want to go by the water and I want to be warm, you know. Growing up in New York and New Jersey, I like now that I'm in the South, I kind of like warm
yeah,
and I kind of want to be in that kind of environment where it doesn't get too cold.
yeah.
Germany's a beautiful country, from what I understand.
Germany's amazing. I
Mm-hmm.
just feel like in 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be so much more common. Like
Yes.
even leaving the country to have medical work. Because I told my kids, I was like, I can't grow old here. I'll leave you with debt and nothing else. And it's going to transfer to your kids, right? So
Yes.
I'm like, I'm not doing that to you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm leaving. You can
Hmm.
all come with me. But I have to leave. I can't age here,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
unless something really drastic happens, which it may, because women will rise,
Hmm.
and make sure that we're all taken care of.
Hmm.
So I've kind of had that 10-year window of like packing up and moving somewhere. But I feel like I also just want to downsize. I feel like every time I've moved, I've downsized and gotten rid of. And now I'm like, kids, take whatever you need out of this house, like into
Hmm.
your own homes,
Hmm.
because I feel like it's time to pack up. I went from a house to a townhouse.
Very good.
So I could
That's a
travel and
good
not
start.
take care, right? Not take care of the lawns, not take care, and I can travel without people knowing I'm gone.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Which is
Excellent.
very important as a single woman. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes.
yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I got some time, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, we so appreciate you hanging out with us this afternoon with what lights you up. I hope we were able to light you up. I know I've been lit up today. How about you, Camille?
It's been a great conversation, and I'm so happy we did this, Paula.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Anyone have any questions or final comments?
No,
Thank you both.
I've been just grateful to be able to sit and listen to just be a fly on the wall and listen in because it's just been a treat. It's definitely got some juices flowing and some ideas percolating there. So thank you. It's been wonderful just to listen to you two kibitz. So
Hmm.
Well, and you know how to get in touch with us if you have any questions
Yeah.
or anything. You have Camille's information on her website because you're on there, and everybody has my information, and we'll be more than happy to assist you in any way that we can.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're
Thank
awesome.
you
welcome.
so
Thanks so
much,
much.
everybody, for showing up, and Paula for doing this and putting it together.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for Camille for your idea and collaborating with me. And I look forward to us doing some more things together in the future.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Hmm. All right, everyone.
All
You all
right.
have a wonderful afternoon.
You
All
too.
right.
All
Bye
right.
Y'all have a
Bye,
great
bye.
weekend.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.